Do you have a couple of tips of how maybe people should react to trolling if it happens to them?
I think for some of the last ones, there were just far too many comments to be answering them.
Sure.
So what we decided, we would make some videos to put out on our TikTok, which went through all of those subjects, and they're actually in the editing suite at the moment.
Yeah.
It's just dealt with, why we have a dress code.
Got it.
What's the purpose of the dress code? Why we have apprenticeships that work closely with a mentor.
Yeah.
How we've always worked and
Wonderful.
work. And then the other one was price. And I also wrote in my newsletter that goes out to 30,000 clients every Saturday. I also wrote explanatory. I talked about the trolling. I used it to our advantage. I talked about it. Clients were interested. I explained, their misunderstandings and our positioning on all of the issues.
Yes.
And then followed up again when we had another whole load of trolling 3 weeks later. I did a blog about it. And on the positive side, our follower numbers on all of our social accounts skyrocketed. Obviously, a lot of the industry started to follow us because they were interested by something perhaps they hadn't seen before. So, as uncomfortable as it may be initially, there are so many positives about it. It really doesn't bother me.
Well, that's a good message to get out of it. So if you do get trolled and you keep your head about you and only answer things that are, make sense and are questioning the right things, then and ignore the rest, really.
Yeah, and where we have had issues where there's less trolling before, where we can answer directly, if you explain in a kind way, you win people over, and it's almost like they feel a bit embarrassed by what they've done. But she was so embarrassed by what she'd done that she was like backstepping. She really didn't expect to get a reply.
Correct. She was just taking out her frustrations of her day on you. Wonderful. And I guess to round this up, did you change your policy in any way on social media posts? I know you have a particular team that deals with that. Did you give any different instructions to them, or are you just carrying on because you know what your business is about and you're very confident? Were there any changes you made to the way you were posting on social media, etc.?
No, only that we actually did more. We did more explanatory stuff. We did more in terms of written stuff for staff, for clients, for our database. It actually created a lot more content from us to make sure that what we were putting out counteracted any misunderstanding.
It was a sort of almost a cleansing process, and then that gave you content just from saying, okay, let's take a look at what they're talking about and let's explain that. So it's kindness, explanations, and really, when needed, ignoring the sort of completely insane and ignorant and sort of envious type of messages. So ignore those. How wonderful. That gives us a plan. Thank you, Michael. I'm sure lots of people will appreciate this.